Greetings, everyone. I'm Kim Turcott of kimturcott.com, and I am here with your Moon Magic energy update for the full moon in Aries, which is happening on Sunday, October 9th at 4:54 p.m. Eastern Time. It's an intense one, which probably isn't going to surprise many of you because the majority of people I know, including myself, have been feeling the chaotic energies of everything that's happening astrologically and energetically in our universe right now. It's been a fairly intense few weeks, and I feel like the message that I was getting in my meditation is that this is like the culmination. And it's presenting an opportunity, a really big opportunity for you. Like it almost feels it feels dramatic to say this, but I'm going to go with the energy. This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to really move through some of the crap that you've been holding on to for a really long time. Like, let's talk about the energy of Aries, right? The energy of Aries, it's the first sign in the zodiac, and it is a fire sign, so it's pretty intense in its own right. It's determined, it's passionate, it's about moving forward. It's the ram, so it's like charging, right? And there's a lot of that forward energy. It's also about initiation. And I want you to think about that word in both meanings of the word. Initiation as in starting something, but also initiation as in initiating yourself into some kind of a rite of passage, right? It's initiation. That's what I feel like is happening. This is an initiation for many of us. It's about stepping into our purpose, and it's intensified because Chiron, which is the wounded healer, is also in Aries at the same time as the full moon. And so it's Chiron's really lending its energy to the intensity of this full moon. And although, like I said, Aries is a fire sign, there's a lot of emotional stuff that's going to come up this weekend or has potential to come up. And Chiron's calling you, like, to look at your crap. What is it what are the lessons that keep showing up for you over and over and over again in your life? What are the things that you keep avoiding, that you keep like turning away from, that you don't want to deal with? They're all being put in our faces right now. And the energy on this full moon is so intense. But what happens, at least in my own experience, is those times where we go through the greatest difficulties or the most intense things that we can go through, when we get to the other side, if we're really willing to look at what we've learned and what the lessons and the gifts were as part of that intense experience, it can change our lives. And I feel like that's what is coming forward. That's what this full moon is all about. It's about being willing to completely surrender. It's like, it's almost the energy that I'm feeling is it's almost like there are these things that are happening or these situations in your life, right? That just feel like you're at your wit's end. You're kind of throwing up your hands. You're like, I don't even know what to do with this anymore. That is what this is about. When you don't know what to do with it anymore, just surrender to it. What are the things in your life that you need to surrender to, and then surrender completely, let go of? Now, normally I don't look at the full moon as a releasing time. I know a lot of other practitioners out there do see the full moon as a releasing. The way that I work with the energy of the full moon around releasing is letting go your grip on something. So it's not necessarily letting go of a particular thing, but it's letting go of your control, of your need to control, of trying to control things. And I think that that fits in perfectly with the messages that are coming forward and the energy around this full moon. You are being called to completely surrender, to release the need for controlling anything in your life. This takes intense or immense trust, right? To surrender to whatever that bigger thing is that's out there that you believe in, whether you call it God or goddess or universe or spirit, it doesn't matter. But there is a bigger energy, a greater cosmic support system out there for us all. And when we can learn to surrender to that, life can really become so much easier. And what I'm hearing, when I was sitting and I was thinking about, like what is, when I was really being with the energy of this full moon, and that word initiation came in. The other thing that dropped in around that time was finding your purpose. Now, I feel like this is kind of like one of those buzzwords that everybody talks about lately is, oh, you got to find your purpose. And I get that. But I think it gets talked about on this grandiose scale where it's like, oh, you need to like write a best-selling book, or you need to be speaking, you need to find whatever it is you're going to do and be speaking in front of an audience of 10,000 people. You need to become the next Oprah or the next Wayne Dyer or Louise Hay. Like, no, that is not that could be what finding your purpose means to some people. Some people are called to those larger scale missions in this lifetime. And, for those of you who are like, this moon is calling you to go beyond any fears you have around that and step into it. But for the majority of people in the world, finding your purpose, to me, is really about looking at the different challenges and situations and things that have come up in your life, right? We are given the gift of challenges in our lives because we're meant to learn lessons from them. And if you look back and you see these repeating patterns over and over again, whether it be in a job, in different jobs that you've had or different relationships that you've had, we all have those things that the universe will put something in our path, and it might be a small thing, and then we kind of ignore it and keep going, and we don't really do the work around it. And then the universe taps a little bit harder and puts something else that's a little bit bigger in our path. And if we keep ignoring it, every single time the universe nudges us with another challenge that's along that same thread, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until finally it feels like, or it can feel like you're being hit by a Mack truck. And then everything falls apart. And it doesn't have to be that way, but oftentimes as human beings, it takes those very large scale, life-changing, chaotic moments or experiences to get us to pay attention and to wake up. And that thread, those things that have been these patterns in your life, when you can look at those and heal those and work through those and get to the other side of them, that is in direct alignment with your purpose. And it might be that those lessons that you had to learn, like that you share it with people that you are in direct contact with. It doesn't have to be that grand scale. It can just be that there are going to be key people in your immediate universe that you interact with, that you share those gifts with, that help them to move forward on their path, to look at their challenges. Your experiences and your willingness to do the work. And I know I say this a lot, but I really do believe it's true that when we're willing to do the work, the things that we're willing to step through and to heal can be the examples for others to do the same thing. And when we share our light and we share our successes and we share our pain, quite frankly, we can inspire others to feel safe enough to do the same. And that is how we create change in the world. Yes, those big presences in the world do make a difference on a large scale, but it's that each person doing their part every day that creates the ripple effect that truly will heal the world and make a difference in the world. So this moon, the full moon energy is calling you to be in it, to surrender to it, and to release control around it. Let yourself finally look at the things that you've been avoiding, possibly for your whole life, and do what it takes, whether that is doing your own inner work, through journaling, through whatever, whether it's working with a life coach, whether it's seeing a therapist, whatever it takes, get the support you need. You don't have to do it all alone, but you do have to do it. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to the collective. This is so important. I really hope that during this upcoming weekend that you are really able to create some time and some space where you can sit with this energy and allow yourself to surrender. It's not going to be pretty for a lot of people, and that's okay. Feel the pain, feel the fear, feel the sorrow, move through it to the other side as best you can. And each time you do that and are willing to do that, that burden gets a little bit lighter. And the message or the energy from Chiron is not that you completely heal the wound and get rid of it. No, it's about kind of almost embracing that wound, right? That's why Chiron is called the wounded healer, because Chiron doesn't look to rid themselves of the experience or the trauma. They look at what the lesson is and they give gratitude and they take the gifts away and they carry with them the lesson. So that's really the energy and the message for this week. I know this has gone a little bit longer than it normally does, but it feels really important. So I want to just, as I always do, I usually write up a few journal prompts for you because I journal all the time, and with my clients, I feel like that's a really great tool to kind of get them more in touch with themselves. Sometimes it's hard for us to really be with ourselves. And so journaling to me is one of those ways that helps me and has been a help to many of my clients. I've put together a few journal prompts like I always do. They are shared in the description below, but I am going to actually read them here for you. During this full moon in Aries, these are the things you want to look at. What is calling to be healed in my life? Where have I been holding on too tight? That's a big one. At least it has been for me in my life. What do I need to surrender or surrender to? So either what is it you need to let go of, or what is it that you just need to surrender to? Am I willing to surrender to the healing journey and step into my purpose? How is the work I am doing on myself part of my greater purpose in my life? Again, you can get those in the description below if you're interested. At the end of the day, remember to be gentle with yourself and really allow yourself to reach out and get some support if you need it. This isn't meant, this journey of life is not meant to be walked alone. We are meant to have the support at key times in our lives. And it's okay if you need to reach out to someone to do that for you. It can be a friend, like I said, friend, coach, therapist, get the help you need. And at the end of the day, be gentle. Thank you so much for staying with me. I know this was a little bit longer than normal. Many, many blessings on your path. And as always, if you have found a nugget of wisdom or you have a takeaway from this and you enjoyed the video, please consider clicking the like button and the subscribe. It really does make a difference and helps this message to reach more people that need to hear it. I really appreciate you for being here. Have a wonderful weekend. Blessings on your path.